Mendy Fry is the defending champion in Top Fuel here at the March Meet, won the 59th running last year, back with the high-speed motorsports team. Last year was such an emotional win for you and this team. What do you remember most about that day?
Well, trying to keep my head together when they gave me the single run because my opponent, Jim Murphy, broke in the burnout. So, but we legged it out and ran a 5:59 at 251 miles an hour. And when I got that thing stopped and unplugged my belts, I just burst into tears, and it's crazy because there's nobody down there because it was a rain out, so it was one on a Monday. And like I say, it went from like 20,000 fans to like 200, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter. It was my first Nitro win, and with the history and the struggle that we had that weekend to come out with the trophy was just unbelievable.
How do you parlay that into a championship at the 60th March Meet?
Well, championships are won in the shop. Out here, you carry out what you did in the shop, and my guys put in the work. You know what I mean? We work, when I say we, they, mostly. I show up for, comic relief. But they work so hard on this car, and Tom Sheelar lives, sleeps, eats, breathes this tune-up, right? And so we tested a couple weeks ago, and our numbers show it.
What type of numbers are we telling people at home, or are we trying to keep those in our back pocket?
Well, we didn't take it to the finish line. We made 2 half-track and 1,000 foot, but we ran a 5:65 at 224 miles an hour, on the 1,000-foot run. So it was the incrementals were there. Jim Murphy's not running for the championship this year, which means there's a chance for somebody new to take over and reign supreme in Top Fuel. Your crew's excited back there about that and the opportunity. You were saying Adam Sorokin and the Champion Speed Shop team, always tough as well. So what's kind of the key for you as you head into the season and think about winning your first championship in Top Fuel? Well, it's about team cohesiveness and morale, and going in with your head on straight and with the right momentum and the right vibe. And, the crew chief's got to do his job, which he typically does. The driver has to do her job, which, sometimes is questionable. But yeah, that's it. It's just doing the work.
I know where to find that driver if you want to give her a pep talk later.
Snuck her around a little bit.
I don't know about that, but I hear she's pretty good at driving one of these things. Might have won a big race last year.
Yeah, she has her moments.
She does. We were talking the March Meet and the history of women in Top Fuel, and Lucille Lee here and Shirley Muldowney here. For you to put your name in the record books with names like that, as somebody who grew up around the sport and has driven for so long, what did that mean for you?
Well, it's huge. I ran into Don Perdome at the Indy 500 last year, and I'm like, my name's on the same list that yours is, and he got a kick out of that. But yeah, having my name on that list, it's incredible. And the fact that it's in a front engine fueler is just like beyond cool.
I have to ask you because it's Snake, so I'm sure he had some sort of response. Is it appropriate for TV?
It's absolutely not appropriate for TV. Absolutely not.
We probably started counting all of his or something.
No, it's worse than that.
Oh,
yeah, it's worse than that.
Best of luck this weekend to you and the high-speed team and this season as well. And a chance to go out and win your second straight March Meet.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mendy Fry. A scary moment for Steve Easton's body comes off the car after the explosion. Did you have any warning that was coming?
Yeah, I guess so. Just before the body came off, it felt just a little bit weird, like maybe it had kicked the rods out. And just as I was thinking about stepping off it, that's what happened. Yeah, it just lifted the body, and then there was some pretty serious flames coming out somewhere at the back of the motor.
What do you see when that happens?
That happened. I had some pretty good vision still, but the flames kind of got to me a little bit, so I hit the fire bottles and just covered myself in fire extinguisher.
And are you okay?
I'm fine. Yeah, I got the visor up so I could see and just kind of squinted my eyes a little bit through it and tried not to slide into a wall. It got pretty slippery out there, but unfortunately, this is Bob Godfrey's car, burning money. We have a lot of help from Lucas Oil and Mickey Thompson and Brandon Miller Racing Solutions and TMS, and we worked all winter to get here, and we'll try again.
We'll try again. The important thing is that you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. Car's not too bad. I think we legged some rods out. The body's probably got a few more cracks in it than it had. But yeah, we'll do whatever it takes to get it fixed, and we'll be back out here for the Hot Rod Reunion, hopefully. We got a match race in Denver in May, so if anyone wants to come to the house and help fix the car, I'd love it.
Steve Easton's looking for crew members now to help put this thing back together.
Any help we can get. Yeah.
Glad you're okay, though. You can fix the race car.
Yeah, look, I guess if you can't be fast, be spectacular. My T-shirt says "Don't live."
Don't. Well, you didn't.
But that was one of those times, you know. Maybe just a smidge sooner would have been a good thing, you know. Yeah, we're trying.
The important thing is that he's okay in a spectacular moment here at the March meet. Michael Halstead is the defending winner in rear engine Nostalgia Top Fuel here at the March meet, and pulling double duty this weekend, racing in funny car as well, as you did last year when you won this event, so that's not much of a hindrance for you. How's this car running for you guys, and what's the key to winning the March meet for the second straight year?
Oh, I think the key is just consistency. You know, Mike is real tedious in what he did with the car over the winter. We had a little bit of an issue with the car. The rear end wasn't quite straight in it. Mike has corrected that, and so if we can be consistent with the tune-up like we were, and I don't have to take my foot out of it to get the thing off the center line or off the wall, maybe we can duplicate what we did last year.
What's the difference between driving a Nostalgia funny car and a rear engine dragster?
Wow, the differences are really big. When you get into the rear engine dragster, you've got to be careful not to fight the wheel like you do Nostalgia funny car. Nostalgia funny car is an animal. You have to just crank on that wheel to keep that thing down in the groove. Sometimes they go nice and straight, but not all the time. On these things, they're so long, you can almost drive them with your pinkies, you know. But it's just as fun, and it's really neat. It's like sitting in your dinner table on one of those little chairs out in the open. You just see a couple front wheels out in front of you. With the funny car, you know you got the body in front of you, the windshield, the supercharger in front of you. Really pretty hard to see around all that kind of stuff. So you kind of driving with your eyes closed, whereas this thing, it can get scary.
This is like the vacation car for you.
Yeah, a really fun vacation car.
You almost had a chance to drive 3 cars this weekend with the fuel altered as well. What keeps you so motivated to jump in all these cars? It's a busy weekend.
Racing is my life. Racing is what kept me out of trouble when I was a youngster. So that's what gives me the motivation, and it's a family sport, you know. My whole family's involved. My wife is involved. My kids are involved. Both of my kids are driving junior dragsters, and my oldest has done very well. She finished 3rd in her point series last year, and we were hoping to improve this year, but we're a little bit behind in funding, so we'll do the best with what we have. But you know, it's a family thing. It's what we love to do as a family.
Who's going to be your biggest competition in the rear engine car this weekend?
It's going to be Brad Thompson. From what I hear, you know, his old crew chief's back who knows what he's doing, and Brad's a good friend. You know, I love Brad, so Brad will probably be my toughest competition.
Another driver who's pulling double duty this weekend.
Yes, Brad's got his own funny car and dragster, and you know, like I said, we're friends, and Brad loves this stuff just as much as I do.
Maybe you guys can both match up in a pair of final rounds.
That would be really cool.
It would be cool. I don't believe anybody's ever won a top fuel and funny car in the same weekend, whether it be front engine or rear engine. So one of you two could pull off history at the March meet.
That would be awesome. That would be really awesome. You know, Lee and the guys found some issues over the winter, and looking for some big numbers with the Code Red car as well. I'm gonna knock on wood because I keep saying that and it doesn't happen, but they're really confident this time, and the numbers, the 60-foot times and the 8th mile times of the Hot Rod Reunion that the Code Red car put off, it's really promising numbers. So look at that car. It's supposed to fly. We'll see what happens.
Be easier on yourself. You did the knock on wood thing, but you won the March meet last year. There's got to be something pretty good going on up there.
Just try to stay humble.
There you go. Mike Alsted's looking to take home a 2nd consecutive March meet championship, and who knows, maybe he'll do it in funny car as well.
Thank you.
Jeff Arendt taking over the seat of the California Hustler. Ronnie Swearingen tuned that thing up pretty good your first run.
Yeah, Ronnie's a man. You know, these guys have been doing it for a long time. Kind of one of the reasons I wanted to drive the car, because great crew, great owner, great crew chief, and we making a lot of like 1,000-foot shutoff passes and going 575. So that was one of the first times I drove it to the lights, and I knew it was quicker than before.
Turns out that the driver's got a little bit of experience too.
Yeah, just a tad.
Good luck in Q2.
Thanks.
Brett Williamson picked up the win in round 1 of Top Fuel here at the March meet over Dan Horan. But a pretty scary fire it looked like from the starting line. Do you know what happened yet?
No, I don't really know. They say it burned a piston and then it must have pushed a gasket out of it. Once it got the fiery oil all over the body and all the other yuck, it caught a little bit of the car and me on fire. But all I was concerned about down there was, did I win or not?
You definitely won. How bad was the damage when you got back here?
Actually, the cockpit was worse than the motor. The motor's like the normal stuff where it burns a piston, but we're trying to duct tape and metal fab the cockpit back together so I can drive it again.
Best of luck in round number 2.
Thank you.
Mark Sanders, they call him Mr. Explosive, and
You
I
got
think
that right, baby.
it's for the personality.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about right there. That old hot rod laid the number down, they just said, huh?
575.
That ain't bad. Lifted a little bit early, our first run after the new year, coming back at it, trying this new ignition. Happy to be here.
It looked like it ran really good in testing yesterday, too. You clicked it early, but it left real
Yeah,
good.
we ran a 940, 960 footer, burned a lot of clutch off the thing. So, first round, right? We got to get it down Broadway. We're looking good in the show. Can't be happier than we are right now.
That's why they call him Mr. Explosive.
You know what I mean? And my son right here, Jake. Hey, Jake, right here. That's the guy that cruised it right here, baby, right here. Right here, Jake.
Jake's doing it. You're like the youngest crew chief out here, and you're making this thing fly.
Now.
Well, we'll give you some credit.
With age comes experience, I guess.
Yeah,
I get it, right? With age
yeah,
comes
he's been my right-hand man since he was, we mud raced when he was 1, sand race, now we're drag racing, so we can't go without it, so it's all the family here. Wife and Jacqueline, my daughter and all, we're ready to rock. Hopefully we're out here tomorrow night late, huh? Late on Saturday, Sunday night, get down here. Come on, you guys. It's the March meet, the 60th running of it. Let's do it.
This is why we love the March meet.
All right, baby. We'll see you out here. If not this year, for sure next year. I better go or I got to jog all the way back.
You're losing your ride,
All
Mark.
right, let's do it.
All
Okay.
right.
Hey, hey. We'll take it, baby.
Bobby Cottrell is the #1 qualifier here in Funny Car at his first March meet, driving a Nitro Funny Car. Brad Thompson, round number 1. That's a big matchup for your team. What's the key to beating that jailbreak car?
I'm just gonna go into it like every other round. He's having a little bit of trouble over there, but he's been known just to pull it out and go 62 or 65 or whatever. So I'm not gonna take him lightly. I'm gonna take him just like if he's Jason Rupert or Boychuk or whoever. So I'm just gonna do what I always do and go into it smart and not get all hyped up and just go from there.
How much more does this car have in it after that run yesterday?
It was pretty soft from the run on Saturday, but we got to be smart about it because the track still is cold. We don't want to step on our, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to go blow the tires off or anything like that. So I think we're pretty safe at a low 60, but time will tell.
259 miles an hour yesterday as well as the top speed of the meet. Bobby Cottrell will race Brad Thompson in round 1 in Funny Car. Jason Rupert, car goes down the track here in Q1, but it looks like it hurt itself pretty good.
Yeah, it hurt itself. It laid over. I lifted. I don't know what it ran, but I think it was good enough to get in the show. And we did a lot of work on the containment device, so we were able to hurt it, unfortunately, but we didn't put any oil on the track, so we didn't hold the show up like we did last year. So that was a good thing.
Any idea what went wrong?
It threw a rod out of it. I think it burned a piston. Like I said, I lifted, but I think it was just too late.
Plenty of parts to fix it.
We've got plenty of parts to fix it, but I'm just sick and tired of hurting this stuff.
Well, Chris Crable, they call him Hollywood. No stranger to victory lane here at Auto Club Famoso Raceway in a nostalgia funny car, the 2016 World Champion, now in your second race with this Smokies Dark Side team. What'd you guys learn at the Hot Rod reunion that could maybe help you make it to the final round here this weekend?
Yeah, we're just kind of gathering parts right now. It looks like our parts situation's good. We have plenty of spares and just kind of inching up on it. I think we're going to have a great car, and I think we'll be able to come out here and at least qualify and see what we can do in eliminations.
Have you guys changed anything over the off season to try to go faster?
You know what? I think we stepped up our clutch and engine program a little bit and put some good cylinder heads on there, and so I think we'll have a hot rod this weekend.
You come back out here, I know you live up in Washington. Your daughter's old enough now, I think, to finally understand what Dad does when she's out here. What's that mean to you to kind of have the family environment back into racing?
Well, my whole family, my wife's family, I mean, we're we're all racers, have been since we've been little. So it's incredible to have my daughter here. I'm just enjoying it so much, and hopefully she'll get into it someday if she wants to. And I love the support though. My family's been here all along.
Talk to me about Auto Club Famoso Raceway and what this track has meant to you and your career as a Nitro Funny Car pilot.
Well, I mean, it's got the two biggest races, the March Meet and the California Hot Rod Reunion. So it's a premier track, one of the best, if not the best, on the circuit. And, it means a lot. I've won it in the March Meet 2 times and the Reunion, I think, 3. So I sometimes have good luck here, and I'd love to continue that this weekend.
Good luck, and a good driver, I think, probably helps with that.
We'll see. It's a whole combination. You're only as good as the last one, right? So I got a great team, and if I can do my job, I like our chances.
What are your expectations this weekend?
I think number one, just qualify and then inch up on the tune-up and see, how many rounds we can go.
This is a team that you said you're planning to run a handful of races, not the whole year this year. Does it mean something to you to just kind of be able to come to the track and not have that pressure like you had in years past when you were racing for Bucky and Mike O'Brien to go out and run for a championship every weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I always have high expectations for myself. So, as far as pressure is concerned, yeah, this is a more relaxed atmosphere. And, I'm getting to do a little bit more on the car. I love the mechanics of it. So, it is a more relaxed situation. That team over there is incredible. They got a great car, and so grateful. We won a championship together and had 5 great years together. But new chapter of life here, and we'll just give them what we can give them out there.
Maybe the new chapter of life can start off with a March Meet victory.
Be nice, wouldn't it?
It would. Good luck, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Chris Crable driving Smokey's Dark Side this weekend. Adam Sorokin races Mendy Fry in round 1 here in Top Fuel. Adam, Mendy told me earlier this weekend she thought this team was their biggest competitor at the March Meet and for the championship. You face off in round 1. Every round is important, but does that put extra pressure on you guys going into this round?
Yeah, I mean, everyone is a high-pressure round, but that team over there, the high-speed team, are probably the most consistent car over last year. I like how we're traveling along as far as making strides of keeping the balance of the engine better and all that kind of stuff, so we're getting it to live longer. With that, we're getting our ET. And it's going to be a barn burner, I mean, on this side of the ladder between Mendy and I, and then whoever wins between Murphy and Rick White, all of those cars are stout, and then on the other side, any of those guys can win too. So there's nothing that is a gimme in this race at all, so we're not taking anybody lightly, and it's going to be fun.
One session of qualifying, and this car struggled to get down the track. You had to pedal it, I think you told me 5 times. Yep. How much has the lack of track time this weekend affected what you're going to do for round 1?
I don't think it's going to affect it at all. We're going to come loaded for bear. We know what they're capable of. They're capable of running a 559 or very low 60, and we're going to need to be right there as well. And this car can do it. So I think we have something for them. But when you don't get that run beforehand, there's a little bit of the unknown. And temperature I think is going to be good for us today. It's going to be warm by the time we actually get on the track, and we'll have like at least an 80-degree track, which is what we need. So I think we'll be all right.
It's going to be a big matchup between Mendy Fry and Adam Sorokin. All eyes will be on those 2 cars in round 1. Mike Hall said the second quickest run this car has made. It's got to feel good.
Oh, man, it feels really good. That's the best run I've ever made in this car. And I'll tell you what, man, I'm hyped up. I'm so excited. I can't wait to race this thing on Sunday.
You got out of the car cheering and hooting and hollering?
It's been a long time since I've been fast. You just did an interview with Jeff Arend in California Hustler. The fastest I've ever been is in that car. I've been 258 in that car. And, I haven't been that fast in a really long time. That's why I was cheering up here, man. That was awesome. I want to do it again.
You said you kept waiting to see Jeff come blowing by at the end. He never came.
Yeah. I don't know if I left on him, but I didn't see him the whole way. I'm waiting for 330. There it is. Plug high gear. Stay in there, baby. It was sashaying, it was up on the tire, sashaying, and I said, you're going to the end, baby, because you're stuck. It was, even though it was sashaying, I could feel the tires planted on the ground, and I made sure we got to the end, and I drove it through the finish line like Lee asked me to do. Got the chutes out. It didn't pick up the rear end. Everything was great. It couldn't go any better than what it did.
A good start to the Funny Car weekend for the defending March Meet winner in rear engine Top Fuel. Ryan Hodgson is the defending champion here at the March meet at Auto Club Famoso Raceway, and your team parlayed that win last year into a strong season and a championship. So what's going to be the key for you coming into this weekend to get off on the same foot?
You know, this year I think we're going to really try to have fun and enjoy ourselves and maybe bring the intensity level down a bit and race a little bit less. But, you know, still be very competitive. I think that's our plan for this year. It's a little bit different than being super intense and traveling to every race, but we all kind of want to do different things this year. We're going to run exactly the same setup we ran last year. The only thing that we different is we're going to run the new electronic mag, and we're just going to try to be super gurus on tuning, right?
But this will be your first pass on the car with that mag when you go out on Thursday for testing here. Yeah. So what is, as a driver, when you have a change like that, does it change your approach at all?
No, I do the same thing every time. I'm pretty relaxed. It's unbelievable right now. I just don't have any worries or bothers or anything. We're just going to go out there and try to keep her in the groove.
You're the defending race winner and series champion, so there's not a lot to worry about.
No, and you know, I'm just blessed to have that title right now for this year, and everybody takes their turn on top, right? It's that wheel that goes round and round. Right now I'm the reigning champion, and one day I will have reigned, right?
You will have reign, yeah, indeed. And for you, hoping that this weekend you'll reign for a second consecutive year. Do you have an idea of what to expect with the track this weekend?
Oh, it's going to be quick. I mean, the weather, it's cold out, the barometer's way up. I think that there's going to be a lot of cars running in the 50s. And depending on what Rupert pulls out, maybe some guys will hit the first 40s, him and Bucky. You never know. Could be us.
You never know. It could be you. That's why you're the defending champion. Ryan Hodgson looking for 2 in a row this year at the March meet. Rodney Flournoy is driving the Godzilla fuel altered this weekend. A car he's become famous for here. One of the prettiest fuel altereds out here, Rodney. And a couple weeks ago, let's start, you came up here to Bakersfield. You guys put a Nostalgia Funny car together. Let's talk about that because things got a little warm for you.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know, I had to come out to make a couple of test runs to upgrade my license. And it's like the first pass was fine. The second pass, get out there and run 614, 225, and then the lights, it kicks the rod out and had a little flash fire. So it's like, you know.
A little flash
yeah,
fire.
You know, it's like another day at the office. I just hit the fire extinguishers and got it out. And lo and behold, we had a rod. So took it back to the shop, you know, to try to put it back together, but we just didn't have enough parts. So had to bring out Godzilla. I mean, we had planned for it to be a 2-car day, but didn't happen. But at least I can play with Godzilla.
Now you have a chance to take this fuel altered here in search of your first March meet victory. And we were talking, you've been coming to this race now for almost 40 years. This is like the home race for you, essentially, being out of Los Angeles with the fuel altereds. What would a win at the March meet mean for you and your family?
I mean, it would mean everything. I mean, that was something my dad was, you know, looking for. You know, he passed away, you know, about 7 years ago, and this is one of his favorite races. So it's like we try to keep on the tradition. So I definitely feel good this weekend, and I think we're going to do great.
What are some of the challenges of driving a fuel altered in 2018 with that 6.0 dial?
Actually, I mean, there's no challenges at all. I mean, it's just a matter of basically, you know, just trying not to run faster than 6.0. I mean, we're not hurting any parts per se, but it's really easy, relatively easy.
As long as you hit 6.0.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. Or somewhere close to it. So,
do you ever find yourself like the super comp dragsters looking out the side when you get to 1,000 feet?
You know what? That's something I haven't did. But, you know, hey, it's always full throttle. And hey, whatever it is, it is. So.
What is it about fuel altereds that kind of drew you in?
Well, actually, you know what? George Doty is the owner, actually. And it's like, you know, him and my dad were good friends. So when my dad passed away, he called me up. Hey, Rod, you know, I want you to put my car together. So it's like the car was sitting in the shop for I don't know how long. So I put it together, probably maybe about 2 months, and came out and started running, and we've been having a ball. But George just has something about fuel altereds, and it's like I got accustomed to it now. I love it.
And you've turned it into a family affair.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I got my brother, my mom, you know, my nephew, my daughter, and it's like the whole family's here.
So the whole family. This is the beautiful thing about the March meet, right? Is that it's a family affair.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and hopefully, you know, my daughter, you know, she's actually driving the last funny car that I had. She's running 7.0 Pro, so we're working on putting her car back together. So it's like, got her out here too.
A chance for a double floor night victory this weekend?
Absolutely, maybe. You never know.
You never know. That's why we drag race, right?
Absolutely.
Rodney Flournoy driving Godzilla this weekend. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Ryan Kono onto the semifinals here at the March meet. The first semifinal of your career. How much confidence have you gained in this team this weekend?
Well, a lot of it is luck. You know, we had a bye in the second round, so that always helps. We can always try something new and see if it works, see if it didn't, and not have to really beat up our parts. We just don't want to go out there and tear everything up, trying to get around. But when it comes down to it, if we're winning, I'm going to keep in it.
It looked like a planned half-track shutoff there in the second round. How much did you learn from that?
We learned that one of the adjustments we made, it did what we expected. So that was a planned early shutoff run, and so it looks like we're going to go with that adjustment.
What do you have to do to beat the defending March meet winner and world champion Ryan Hodgson in the semifinals?
A lot of things have to come in line. You know, we've been lucky so far. Why not keep the luck going? And maybe just gotta go be lucky again on the tree. Maybe guess, but no, I'm not gonna guess. Don't tell Roland that. I'm not gonna guess.
It worked in round one.
Yep. My foot just went down, and my head said, "Okay, there's the amber." So it worked out in good terms for us.
Divine intervention maybe here. Ryan Kono looking to go to his first career final round at the March meet. Yep. Bobby Cottrell's making his debut in a Nitro Funny car at the March meet. We preface that this was a car that was driven by Chris Crable last year at the March meet, and then Bobby, you jumped in it after that for the rest of the year and found quite a bit of success. What would a win at the March meet mean to you?
Oh man, it would mean everything to me. I've been at a few finals at the March meet, but I've never won it. So I'm gonna try to pick up where I left off and do what I have to do and go from there.
Never won a March meet, no stranger to the finals here in 7.0 Pro and in other cars in the past, but driving this funny car is a little bit different, and you're driving for a team that's had a lot of success here at Auto Club Famoso Raceway. How much pressure does that put on you this weekend?
You know what, I'm just going to go into it like I do every other race. I'm not going to, overthink it. Sometimes I do get nervous, but once I get strapped in the car, everything comes back to me, and Bucky's really good at giving me direction on what he wants, and we'll just go from there, man.
Is there more pressure driving for Bucky or Mike?
You know what? Actually, Mike's like a really cool head. He's like the cool head of the team, Bucky knows what he wants, and he tells what he wants, but at the end of the day, he tells me what to do, what I think's right, and it's just a lot of fun driving for him. I'm having a good time.
What's the approach to the March meet? It's at the kickoff event for the season for you. Does it have that Super Bowl-ish feel, that Daytona 500, Winter Nationals type start of the year feeling, or do you just take it like it's another race?
You know what, like I said before, I've been to a lot of finals in different cars, and I try to just go into it like it's another race. You know what I'm saying? If you overthink it and you kind of, get yourself wound up, you end up screwing up. So I just try to show up, do my job, not screw up, and go from there.
Are you comfortable in a funny car yet?
Oh yeah, I love it. I don't even know what a dragster is anymore, but it's a lot of fun. It's a kick in the pants for sure.
What was the biggest adjustment you had to make when you moved into this car?
I think, obviously, other than driving for Bucky Austin, probably turning the steering wheel. You got to turn the steering wheel a tremendous amount compared to a dragster. But I kind of caught on pretty quick and adjusted hopefully fairly good, and it's just a lot of fun. There's never a dull moment in a funny car. Dragster is kind of a Cadillac, but this is awesome. This is awesome.
It's funny, Mike Halstead kind of said the same thing earlier. Asked him about the rear-engine dragster versus this, and the rear-engine dragster was like his vacation car.
Yeah, my first pass in a funny car, Bucky's like, you know that feeling when you get comfortable and you're just kind of cruising down the track? I told him, yeah. He goes, that's not a funny car. He's like, turn that steering wheel. So it's his direction and his instructions have went a long ways in transitioning to the funny car. So
worked out last year. You found victory lane a few times and looking to do so at the March meet for the first time. Bobby Cottrell driving for Bucky Austin and Mike O'Brien this weekend. Mendy Fried, the defending winner of this race in Top Fuel, a 573 on the first run. Is that what the team was looking for?
Yeah, we set it up pretty soft because, the conditions are what they are right now, and we were kind of afraid that the track wouldn't be there. And the track was pretty good, but it was sliding around quite a bit, just didn't really want to hook up, didn't get up on the tire and go, you know what I mean? But still, 77 is nothing to scratch your head at. We didn't make a full run.
Chance to improve tomorrow.
Yeah, weather permitting.
Weather permitting. Mendy Fry is the #1 qualifier here in Top Fuel at the March Meet and the defending race champion. And you race Adam Sorokin in round 1. You told me earlier this weekend you thought that team was your biggest competitor for the championship. Round #1 today, how crucial is a win in that matchup?
Every round that you're running is the most crucial round, right? Because you have to get past it to the next one. But I think that they are our most formidable competitor at this time. So this is essentially, going to be the toughest. They're all tough, right? But they're going to be tough. So first round is going to be a tough one.
A win over Adam would give you guys quite an advantage if you were able to parlay it through the rest of the day. At the start of the season, does that put some extra pressure on the team as you roll up for round 1?
You know what? The only thing that puts pressure on the team is the fact that we got one qualifying run and it's been awful weather and now the conditions are completely different, right? So we just have to do our deal like we know how to do it. I mean, Tom knows how to make this thing run in all kinds of conditions, so we got to make the right decision in the pits, and then I just got to do my job. So,
what type of changes have you guys made to this race car after the weather that we've had over the weekend?
Well, I mean, you just have to go back to data that you have, right? So we looked at other times when we run in data in weather that was like this and just made the changes to the car indicative of those conditions. So there's nothing really we can point any fingers at, it's just tweaks here and there.
Mendy Fry races Adam Sorokin, the big matchup in Top Fuel in round 1. Ryan Hodgson is the defending event winner and national champion here in Nostalgia Nitro Funny Car. And a tough matchup with Bobby Cottrell. The team has been the quickest car all weekend. How do you find that extra 10th that you need to beat him?
You know what, we're going to throw everything we can at it that makes sense, and we are going to go hard. And he's got a hell of a battle coming up. And I know Bobby, he ain't going to give in either, I tell you that much. And I'm proud of him getting to the finals.
It's his first March meet. Big matchup with you here.
Yeah, it sure is. I've been there a few times now, and this is his first time against me. I don't know what's going to happen.
It's going to be a shootout for the Nitro Funny.
And a little bit of love, huh?
Yeah, well, and that's what it takes to win drag races.
Exactly.
The shootout for the Nitro Funny Car Championship. In the pits with Bobby Cottrell and the Austin and O'Brien Nitro Funny Car. Bobby's first March meet in the final round with this team, a team that won a couple races with Bobby at the wheel. We tried to get an interview with him, and he's too busy rebuilding the motor, a true racer. And Bobby Cottrell making the jump from 7.0 Pro to Nitro Funny Car full-time this year after moving into this car in the middle of last season, looking for his first March meet victory. Pete Wittenberg going to his first final round here at the 60th March meet in the semifinals. Big win for your team there. How's the car look?
We've got number 4 pretty good. We've got the head. We're going to sand on the crank a little bit. We're going to put some parts in it and send her,
Mendy Fry's the defending event champion. How do you beat her?
A little bit of luck. We'll do our best. We'll get out there and we'll give it everything we can.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you so much.